In this video, we are going to see an amazing game played between Pragnananda and Magnus. So, Magnus is playing as black and Pragnananda is playing as white. The game started with the move e4 and black went c5. This is the Sicilian defense, then comes knight f3 and here he goes e6 and after d4 takes, this a6. This is the kann Sicilian. Then white went bishop d3, he went queen c7, then white just castle here and after knight f6 he played queen to e2. Then black went d6 and after that white went c4, just taking some space. Then comes knight bd7 and after knight c3, just developing, he played knight to e5, centralizing his knight and also targeting the bishop. And black's main idea is to play knight to g4, h3. Then black went b6 with the idea of shadowing this bishop. Then white played f4, attacking this knight. So knight takes bishop and then queen takes knight. Then comes bishop b7, targeting this pawn. He played f5, trying to open up black's king. He goes queen to d7. And then white goes bishop to g5, targeting this knight. He goes bishop e7, defending this knight. Then comes rook a d1, bringing his final piece into the game. He played rook c8, putting pressure on the c file. Then comes queen e2, and here black went e5, attacking the knight. Then before moving this knight, white played an intermezzo with bishop takes knight, and after bishop takes, this knight c2 with the idea of rerouting his knight to this d5 square. Then comes queen to c6, attacking this pawn. He played knight e3, defending this pawn. Then comes bishop to g5, threatening to take this knight and then take this pawn. So king h1, but after bishop takes knight, queen takes. You don't want to take this pawn because white can take this pawn or even play f6 and the position will be bad for black. So in the game, black went f6. Then white played b3, just defending this pawn. b5, trying to open up this pawn. He cannot take because then his knight will be hanging. So he played knight d5, centralizing his knight. Then comes queen to c5, offering a trade of queens. But he played queen to f3. Then he went b takes c4 and after queen to h5 check, king to f8. Then white played rook to f3 with the idea of bringing his rook to this g file. He goes bishop takes d5 and here he took with the rook and after queen b6 he goes b takes c4. And now since this pawn is hanging, so he played rook takes c4 and after rook to b3, attacking the queen, he goes rook to b4. This then rook d3, defending this rook, and after takes, he moves his queen. Then comes queen to d1. He went g6, trying to exchange pawns, and this will also create an isolated e pawn for white. But in the game he played queen to b1. Then black played this cunning queen to c5. The idea behind this move is that if he played rook to b8 check, king moves, then queen to b7 check, and after king to h6, seems like white can take this rook, but then it's going to be a perpetual and black will draw the game. So in the game, he played rook to b7. Then comes g takes f5. And in this position, taking this pawn seems like a natural response, but he played this stunning king to h2. This is also the top engine move. The idea behind this move is that when the queen is going to move up, black wouldn't be able to give checks and white will be able to avoid perpetual checks. So after rook g8, he played queen to b3. And after d5, white played rook takes h7 and Magnus resigned in this position because white is threatening queen to b8. So for example, let's say he played a5. Then there's queen to b8 check and after queen blocks, he can take this queen. And if he tries to hold on with queen to d6, then there's queen b7, threatening queen to f7 checkmate, so queen e6. But then after queen to b4 check, king moves. There's queen to b8 check and after queen blocks, queen takes c8 is checkmate. Well, this is not the end. If you want to see some more amazing chess games like these, then you can check out this playlist And if you want to learn some chess traps, then you can check out this right playlist. And if you don't want to miss the upcoming videos, then don't forget to subscribe.